And doing that is an amazing way to collaborate with somebody and use the market that they may already have as well.
Hello and welcome to The Edit. I'm Whitney from Minneapolis.
I'm Amanda from Seattle.
And today we're talking about something we're really excited about, how to create a simple marketing plan when you're just starting your photography business.
Yes, marketing can feel super overwhelming, but we're here to help you focus on 3 key areas: blogging, in-person connections, and 1 social media platform. So let's dive in.
Yep. Let's start with blogging. Blogging is such a powerful tool for building your online presence and especially for attracting local clients, and it's often overlooked. Blogging isn't dead.
I know everybody thinks it is.
They do. And you're in it for the long game when you start to blog. So, Amanda, why do you think blogging is so effective?
Okay, well, I know that it helps your website rank higher on Google. That is the thing that marketing and SEO friends have told me. So you really want to get that. So that way, if someone searches for a photographer in your area, your blog posts can help them to find you. And it's also a great way to share tips, stories, and highlight local resources that your potential clients will find helpful. Just another way to kind of get them engaged before they end up booking you and would make them want to book you.
Yep, absolutely. A great example is writing posts that are like the best places for a photo session in Minneapolis. And then you could list really your favorite places for a photo session. It's going to help your audience. It's going to help people when they're actually looking for a place to find a place for them to have a photo session. But it's also going to show that you're an expert, and it's going to help with that SEO.
Exactly. So this is actually something that I do for my business. I am terrible at blogging, but I really have tried hard to become better at it. And that is currently what all of my blog posts are. It is location spotlight, and it talks about each one of the parks that I really like going to, the pros and the cons of photographing there. And then I have photos of family sessions that I've taken or children that I've photographed in those specific places so people get an idea of what it will look like in their final photos. And what I've learned is that you don't have to blog every week because I think that is such a very daunting thing. And I know I'm terrible at that with all the other stuff going on. So like aim for 1 or 2 posts a month and then keep it simple, like what to wear for family photos, or like what I did, a location spotlight on different parks in your area for, the best family images.
Yep, that's great. And if you're new to blogging, tools like WordPress make it really easy to set up a blog. Sometimes your website will have a place for you to blog right on the website. And for learning about SEO, I would suggest just learn the basics by searching YouTube. We love YouTube. We're on YouTube all the time.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So simple things like making sure the words, like for me, if I was doing family photography here in Minneapolis, I would make sure in my blog it said family photography in Minneapolis. So then when somebody's Googling, they want family photography in Minneapolis, that's what they're going to type in.
Pop
so that's
up on
just
there.
Yes. Yeah. So that's just a simple way to think about SEO if you're like, what is SEO?
Yes, exactly. Just get those keywords. I am going to say right now, I am absolutely not any SEO expert at all. I still struggle with it very much in my business too. And I have utilized YouTube so much for this to help me pinpoint the keywords that I need to have. And ChatGPT, I'm also going to throw that out there, has been very helpful in helping me craft blog posts that use keywords without sounding very automated.
Yes.
Is it? Like, it's very obvious, I think, when somebody's trying to shove a bunch of keywords into something. So I use ChatGPT to help me sound a little more polished and have it flow. But okay, so that's number 1. And I think number 2 is going to be those building the in-person connections. And that's where you can really make an impact with your local community, which in general, that's what most people are they're trying to market to their local community as a way of getting business.
Yep. And that's the best place to start. When you're just starting out, don't jump into traveling to be a family photographer. Usually people that are wanting to book international photographers, they want to make sure you have some experience. So start marketing local, even if your dream is one day to be flown off to Paris for a wedding. Mm-hmm. So how you can do that is you can attend events like local business meetups. You could go to expos that are going on in your city, or just even joining your local chamber of commerce is a really great way to start. You can use tools like Meetup to find events near you, and you can just show up to certain places. So something like a coffee shop maybe is a good way for you to show up and meet somebody. You can't expect to spend a lot of time with an owner, but you could at least go get some coffee, say, hey, I'm a photographer, and then start to build that connection. Yeah. You just really need to start becoming part of your community to start getting your name out there.
Yeah, I really like that. And especially collaborating with other businesses, like you could partner with a local florist or an event planner, especially if you photograph weddings. That's a really great way to go. You can do a cross promotion. And I'm going to talk about this one very specifically because this is what my friend Jillian and I do. We've had Jillian on the podcast before. She is an amazing social media marketing guru. She is so good about tapping into her community. She is the one who even brought forth the idea that about joining your local chamber of commerce. I had no idea that was even something to do. So she and I, in order to use both of our skills and really market to some extra markets and to some new people, to use our clients with each other, to be able to have those contacts, we created this event called Pose and Post, and it's geared towards small business owners in the Pacific Northwest. And we choose different venues to host the event. And I take headshots for the attendees, and Jillian tells them how to best create social media posts in the spaces that we're in. And she helps them to record them on their phones. That way they can go into Canva later on and create social media posts. So I have used this before, and doing that is an amazing way to collaborate with somebody and use the market that they may already have as well.
Yep. And don't forget about your friends and your family. Yeah. Ask them to share your business. Sometimes they maybe don't think that they should share. Usually they're just not thinking about it. So ask them, say, hey, would you mind sharing this with your friends? Or hey, do you know of anybody that might like family photos? And they will think about it, and maybe they do. So don't be afraid to ask. Photograph your friends and family. Show them what it's like to work with you. If they get excited, and especially if they know you and trust you, they're going to spread your information. So much of my business when I was a wedding photographer came in from in-person referrals. And even with social media today, I think a lot of people think that is the best way to get referrals, and it's not. Finding people that you already know, that love and trust you, that are close by to help you get started is really a wonderful way to start getting those referrals out there. And then after those referrals, they start referring, and then you have people that you met just as clients, and then they start referring. So I can even track some of my clients to, oh, this was a friend who referred this client who then referred this client. So there's just this whole timeline of how people met, how I met them and became to work with them, all traced back to one friend or family member.
I love it. It's like the 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, but the 6 degrees of separation from Whitney.
Yes. And speaking of that, a little tidbit.
Yes.
I think I'm only like 2 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So we play this game all the time with everybody.
Do you? Oh my gosh,
so
that's so fun.
Yes. Kevin Bacon or whoever. We're like,
who else can I connect myself to? I love that so much. But that all totally makes sense, especially when you think about it. like I had to choose a new dentist recently, and so I went and asked friends who they went to. I was like, you can read reviews online all you want, but to get that feedback from somebody that you know and trust, that's going to be really invaluable. And I'm going to throw this out there too. I feel like getting business cards and having them with you is just going to make networking easier. The other thing you can do is offer referral incentives to different clients to encourage them to spread a word about your business. I have a referral program for my own business that I use where my client gets $100 to spend on either a future photo session or a past photo session. And whoever they refer, they get $100 to spend after they've booked their first session.
That's awesome.
As well. So it's a really great way for me to be introduced to new clients who are kind of already vetted as well, because it's somebody I'm already working with and it's a friend that they have. And most of the time you tend to be friends with people with the same mindset and likeness. So if I'm going to get along with them, I'm probably most likely going to get along with their friends too and appreciate photographing for their family.
I love that.
Definitely. I very much encourage that. And I'm just going to throw out my favorite place for business cards, which is moo.com. So they've got really fun square business cards, which I feel like kind of help me stand out a little bit more in the market. And they're nice and thick too. So I like doing something a little different to make my business cards a little more memorable.
I love it. Awesome. So we have those in-person connections, but we also have social media. So we cannot forget part three.
Part three.
You do need some sort of social media in this day and age. Just like you need those in-person connections, you still need social media. I would love to hear your advice for somebody, Amanda, that feels like they need to be on every platform.
Yeah. It's too much. I don't try to do it all. I feel like really picking your one platform where your ideal clients are going to spend their time is the best investment for you. A lot of times for photographers, that's going to be Instagram, Facebook could be too. And what I've kind of figured out as well through what you've done, Whitney, is that Threads is a really engaging platform currently. I'm following my own advice here. I pretty much really just stick to Instagram. I haven't done a ton over on Threads, but seeing the engagement that you get for our business here, our podcast, that might end up trickling down a little bit. But again, I'm following my own advice. My target audience, they're on Instagram.
Yep. Awesome. If you're on Instagram, aim to post about 3 times a week. You want to share your best photos. You don't have to share every photo you take.
Yes.
Don't feel like, just share your best. You don't want to put your photos on there. This is your portfolio.
Yeah.
You really want to show off. When you look at somebody's Instagram and they have all of these amazing photos, no, there's just as many bad photos. They're just choosing not to share them.
Yeah.
And I want to say that to photographers starting out, because it can be a little disheartening when you see someone that has all these amazing photos and you go and do a session and you're like, well, all my photos don't look that amazing.
Yeah.
But it's because they're choosing their best to share online. So do that for yourself. Just share your best. You can share the stories behind them. People love engaging stories. And then also share tips for clients. So let's say you have a session and a family did an amazing job picking out their outfit. So you can say, hey, this is what this family did. This is why this works. Your client that you shared is going to be excited because you're bragging on them. And it's actually going to help people know what to wear on their session.
Yeah, it really kind of cements you as somebody who is a really good business owner in that you're creating content for people to help them when they book you to know what to do for the photo session. It really just sets you as an expert in your field. So yes, totally on that one. And I'm going to pop over to Facebook really quick.
Yep.
While I don't use it a lot, it is great for connecting with local communities. Like there's a bunch of Facebook groups. My kids' school has a Facebook group, not only for the school, but for each graduating class, if you will. So like first grade, second grade, third grade, they all have that. Parents are on there a lot. So those are really great places to be able to have your name show up. And for posting on there, like for your business page, you could post updates or client highlights and promotions as well, especially if you've got mini sessions or something coming up. And that, what I've been told, is like 2 or 3 times a week is what you want to aim for if you're going to be using Facebook for your social media channel.
Yep. And we're talking about making a plan. And so part of that plan should be making everything efficient so you don't become overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that means scheduling posts. So you can create 4 or 5 posts. You can create 10 posts if you want and put it on a scheduler. So let's say you do 10 posts on one day. You spend all day doing that. It could end up getting you through several weeks of social media. The Meta Suite, you can schedule Instagram on there, Facebook on there. Right now, I don't think you can do threads. I feel like eventually you will.
Yeah.
There's also later, Planoly, and even if you have Canva Pro, they have a scheduling tool that you can utilize.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many great resources that I wish we had when we started there.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. So listeners, there you got it. Blogging, in-person connections, and one social media platform. If you focus on those 3 areas, it'll help you get started without feeling overwhelmed.
Yep. That is right. You want to keep it simple. You want to stay consistent, which is for me the hardest.
Yeah.
Yep. And don't be afraid to try new things. Experiment with your post. Don't necessarily try all the new social media platforms. But try different things in how you post. And over time, you're going to start to see results of your efforts.
Yeah. Oh, love that. Okay. Well, thank you, Photo BFFs, for joining us again on The Edit. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe. And we would love if you left us a review as well. You can check out the show notes for links and resources that we mentioned in this episode. And just thank you again for joining us for another episode of The Edit Weekly.
All right. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.
Okay, Photo BFFs, if you have not subscribed, do that right now so you never miss a new episode. You can also find us at theeditweekly.com where we have free resources and downloads for you to help grow your photo business.